Hope everybody is having a good Thursday so far and looking forward to the weekend. How I am. This place right here, this shelter, the inventor, it's right above West Fort Knox, or right above actually the mine north of F. But it's out in the water, so you got to follow. There's multiple paths that you can follow to get to him. Even though the tram system goes like right over it, but it doesn't stop there where you can get off. You know, it gets off. You can get off here and right before it, but not on his island actually. There's an order right here I need to pick up for him actually. But look, see that path? You can follow it. But if you get in the red, you will sink into the tar. But well, not there, but there is multiple ways. See, here's another path. Right there. And you can take a vehicle. I drove one of the trucks through it. So you can get here by vehicle too. Let's stop and see if he has any orders. Actually, you get the otter half of it. The otter, the thing that goes onto your hood there, it helps you float. So you can kind of swim if you get in deep water. Special tools. Deliver special tools for the monorail maintenance, recovery, and then return it to the... I'm going to take both these orders. Okay, yeah, I only have to put one on my back because the other one you have to pick up on the way. All right.
Order accepted. Thank you.
I really wish I could get on the monorail system, be much faster. There's our path. Hey, Bella. Belle. Come here, big girl. Come here. My cat, Bella's. Come here, big Bella. Here's the bird. Come here. You're such a sweet kitty, aren't you? Yes, you are. You want to say hi to you two people? Meow. Meow, meow. Yeah. Sounds from kitty. She is a kitty of very few words. I love how they introduced nighttime. And I never really thought about it until after the fact, but, you know, there was never a nighttime in the first game. It was always daytime. It's still a good game, don't get me wrong. The first one, I love the first one. I have the standard version, but the PS5 upgrade was free, and then the Director's Cut edition, you know, it cost me $10, I think, and it just downloaded, you know, the Director's Cut version. I still have to have my disc in the system, but still, for $10, you know, it's not a bad thing. I mean, so I like to own games on physical disc, but it was still nice to be able to just upgrade it for $10, you know what I mean? I didn't mind. This is a really, really good game. All honesty. I'm going to pick these up on the way back since I have to go to right there to deliver those. So on my way back, I can pick them up and ride the monorail back. Excuse me. Throat's kind of dry. I don't know why. Time makes a big difference. Don't you all think? I don't know if y'all played this game, but look at it. Like the lights, look at the lights. These like little facility, or even the bunkers, or just like these facilities where you build stuff. Like the monorail or the roads. They put off these lights, and they even have lights above you on the road system in some parts. Man, it's beautiful at nighttime. The lights, even your suit, look at it, kind of has that blue color. I don't know if you can change those colors. Maybe you can. But they change, don't they, on their own? They change the white, of course, when I got close within the facilities area where, you know, it locks out all your weapons and all that. See which way is best. We're heading this way. I usually go around, but look at there. Looks like some little islands. I wonder if we can warn it. Shallow beach where scattered sandbars form a path. Porters have reported being attacked by groups of coral creatures in this area. Huh. As far as building the monorail goes here, you have to have what's it called? Special alloy. Let me see what's. Yeah, special alloy. Well, you can get it right here at this mining facility northwest on West 49. Right here. I'm sure there's other mining facilities. I'm guessing. I haven't made it that far yet. You can see how far I've made it. See, here's the whole map, though. I mean, yeah, it's huge. I really just discovered it. I don't know, a third of it, maybe. No, probably just 1/4 of it I have actually discovered and have, you know, the facilities connected. There's an order. Just a random order that somebody dropped, but it doesn't hurt to pick them up along your way. It just increases your connection level. See, I had wondered in the first game when you fully connected a place, 5 stars, you would get a sticker to put on your pant legs, kind of. And I remember I had all of them. You know, I did them all. And in this game, it doesn't have that, but inside the bunker, or inside the Magellan, the ship that travels around with you in your private room, on the wall, there's little figures painted that look like people, you know. And for each facility that you connect, it shows those. So, look at that. See that? What? That. I've never seen such. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. Get back, Sam. Good. Let's see. I got something for him. Let's see. There we go. That's one. You can get rid of those little creatures on the land that'll swarm you with the explosives, the explosive rounds from your rifle here. They weren't lying when they had a warning sign here saying you get attacked. Uh-oh, move your ass. Move your ass. Excuse my language, too. Good job. Come on. Yeah, come on. I'm curious to know what you all think of this game so far. Listen, I'll be the first to admit, it's not for everybody. When I bought the first game, the girl at GameStop told me, she said, you know, this game, she said, I love it. She said, it's not for everybody. She said, either you're going to really love it or you're going to hate it. She said, it's not for everybody. She said, if you can't stand the slower paced game, she said, you know, this probably isn't it. You know, my controller is, I have to get a new controller. Just started doing that. I have a little drift in the left analog stick. I'm sorry about that. Much bad it. I mean, until I buy one tomorrow, so. But it's not bad enough to bother me. That would be cool to put bridges here. You could put, you know, there's two different lengths of bridges, but actually, as you go through the game, a third one unlocks. I think it's 80 meters. It's the longest bridge so far that I can build. A couple of those would do the job. I don't know if it'd be worth it, though, because once you kind of move on to different areas and fully connect them, you might not be back, unless you still want to do random orders. But you know, I've noticed there's not as many standard orders in this game. There's a bunch, but I looked it up because I was just wondering. It seemed like there was tons of standard orders. Always a list of standard orders, even after you fully got 5 stars and connected the facility. In the first game I'm talking about. And I looked it up. They said that the first game had a total of 500 orders. This game has a total of 400 standard orders. Standard orders are the optional ones you can do, not the main orders, of course. If you don't know, I'm just letting you know. But I mean, it's not a big deal. But me personally, I like to do the standard orders. You know, every time you do orders, you have a level, you have a rank system of, you know, your order grade and all that. And I think my rank in the first game during one of my playthroughs was like 300 or something like that, which, you know, it's not bad. Look at this. It's already down to 87%. Let's see how much power crystals. That's not bad. 193. I'll donate that. Let's go ahead and use the zip line. I really wish you could go into the city. You know, maybe I'm the only one, but ever since the first game, I always wanted to go into the city, actually, through the walls and check it out. I mean, I guess that would have took a lot of extra work on the game to actually make it, but they could have had a small area, something like big as this little area right here. Like a small courtyard where you could have gone and met traders and stuff. I never understood why they didn't add that to the game. And just for the record, I'm a huge fan of this game. I'm not complaining. I love this series game. One of my favorites, actually. I just wish they'd added that, though, in all honesty. But I love it. To me, Death Stranding is very relaxing. You know, I know it has BTs and stuff. Maybe you wouldn't consider it, a relaxing game, but to me it is. I use vehicles. If it's a really big order, I will use the vehicles. Sometimes I'll use those little tractor pulls that you can hook up behind you as you walk. I honestly prefer walking most of the time. The game is so beautiful in the scenery that I just like to enjoy it. Not that I don't use vehicles, I do occasionally.
Thank you, guys.
Just depends on the situation.
Handy.
If I'm building roads or the tram system like this right here, I will use vehicles to carry materials back and forth. Let's go ahead and drop off this order real quick.
Good evening. I see that you're still out working late into the night. Bringing up the order info now. You took excellent care of this cargo. It really shows. We were right to count on you. It's like a dream come true, this showing up on our doorstep. We'd written it off, but you made our day. Now displaying your current porter grade.
Yeah, I'm ranked 152 right now, master carrier.
We appreciate you stopping by so late at night. It must be dangerous when you don't have the light of nearby shelters. Please, try to be careful.
I'm going to go ahead and sleep here. That way I can get the extra stamina bar. You have 4 stamina bars. But if you drink all the drinks inside your shelter before you leave, you can get a 5th extra stamina bar. But now you know how, like, when you get to the 4, if your stamina goes down, you can drink your water or your canteen and restore your stamina. Of course, you cannot restore that 5th stamina bar. But after you drink that 3rd drink, you will get a 5th stamina bar. So, it's handy, for sure. As you notice, there's three cryptobites, different ones. That's the regular one, that's an electrobite, and that's a necroptobite or something. But I always eat them. They add a little boost too. I'm not sure what exactly they do, but they do help, I guess. I know for sure the drinks help. So. I do hope, though, if you all like my content, that you subscribe to my channel. I'd really appreciate it. I don't mind asking because, you know what? Why not? I want to grow my channel. I'm not afraid to admit it, and I don't mind asking. It's no harm in asking. And if you don't want to subscribe, that's fine too, because I'm just glad to have, honestly, I'm just glad to have somebody watching. It's not easy being a smaller channel, but I'm here for the long haul, so let's see. I want to make sure there's no other orders on here. Yeah, they have a bunch of standard orders. Yeah, I'm going to be going back to F2. I have to pick up an order that's, I guess, was lost. It's by the Mine and North facility. Let's see. Okay, let's see. Actually, no, I probably shouldn't. I don't even know how big that order is going to be that I'm picking up. It looked like it had some big cases. I saw a few larges and an XL. That's the size of the crate, so it could be a considerable amount of weight. I'm going to go ahead and fabricate one of these float. They're not tractor pulls, they're floating carriers. Let's go ahead and fabricate one of those. Place on back. And while I'm here, I'm going to look at my boots. That bar there, it's almost all the way gone, so my boots are getting wore out. So, boot clip, I always keep an extra set. Put on footwear. Now it's gone up full. Now let's recycle them. Gives you a little something back at least. And then let's make a extra pair. Transporter boots, combat boots. One of those. Combat boots, let's add them to the boot clip. Alright. Let's head out of here. That's a bright light. Alright. That's where we have to take the order to, the F2 South Distribution Center. And the order's right there, recover cargo. Ultra lightweight. You don't have to get all the packages, you know, like it shows there a minimum of one of them, but I always try to get them all. This is one beautiful game. I mean, you know, we have so many now, and there's a lot of beautiful games out there. They're almost, you know, I consider them like art. To me, they're art. The amount of time and effort that goes into making them, and then just what they are. We're very blessed, honestly. If you are a gamer and you like games, it's a good time to be a gamer, in all honesty. I mean, look how realistic it looks. Take it for granted because you kind of get used to it. You know, I went one time. I was, you know, busy hiking and so on. with my girlfriend, and I hadn't gamed for like a couple weeks. Longest I ever went probably without gaming. And when I came back to it, I swear I was amazed by the graphics. You know, you get used to something, it just feels normal. I didn't realize, I was like, whoa, man, the graphics are just so clear. That's kind of funny how that works. But I had took a break so long that I just, was used to it. That's one of the road construction things to build the road. I'm going to do that too. So yeah, my playthrough ended up being a pretty long one by the end of it. I don't rush through games, especially big open world games. I don't rush. Why? Why would I used to. Usually when I'd play big open world games, I would kind of rush through the mains. Not rush through it, but I would take my time and then I'd kind of rush through it. And then the second time I would put a lot more time into doing the secondary stuff. But as I've gotten a little older, I don't know. Just take my time a little bit more now. It depends on the game. If it's more linear and so on, well, you don't have much of a choice. Or you do have a choice, but, you still can't spend the amount of hours you do like games like this. That's where you can get those cryptobytes. There's different types, though. This is regular ones. The electrobytes, the reefs or coral reefs for them are more blue colored. Now, I haven't seen the other ones, the necrobites. I don't remember seeing the coral reefs for them. They must be rarer to find. These things are good. You can wear these on your feet. They're like sandals, but they make your the sound of your, when you walk, it makes less sound. Sandal wheels, yep. Look at that. Never hurts to get that. Oh, look, there's a bunch of these. Look, that's tar in the water. You can see the rainbow color from the petroleum, that's in it. Stuff, stuff that they make oil out. Gasoline out of oil, petroleum. That's a lot. Never have enough of these.
That's right. Let's just sit here for a second and meditate.
I love these quiet moments in the game. There's something about it that I really like. Well, I meant to set longer. Come on. I bought this controller literally like 4 months ago. And it's already has stick grip in the left analog stick. Isn't that crazy?
Let's just sit here for a second.
They should last you a good year at least, in my opinion. It's crazy. It really is. Look at the rocks. Isn't it? It's really well done. The grass, the pebbles, the big boulders. I like to find good areas. Like, see that mountain range there? I'd like to go on top of it, sit down, and play the harmonica in the game. I like that kind of stuff. Let's see. That's not it. There they are. There's the other ones. Took me a second to find them. Yeah, I really like the characters in this game too. The actors that they put in it. You know, I don't know how some people feel about actors, you know, being in games. I mean, I don't mind. They're going to get into it anyway, right? There's, you know, actually, I read that video games make more than movies now. Last year alone, movies made like 4 billion, I want to say, worldwide. Or maybe that's in our country. You'd have to read that exactly. But video games generated like 10 or 12 billion. Yeah, I mean, they're making, there's more money now in games than there is movies and shows. I mean, really think about that. It was not that way not too long ago, I would say. I mean, that's a big shift if you really think about it. But, you know, games are more personal. To me, games are like movies, but they're movies that you get to play a part in them. You are the character, the actor, however you want to look at it. But you play a part in this. That's why I've always preferred them. Oh, don't get me wrong. I have movies and shows that I love. I'm a big Dragon Ball Z fan, for instance. I have all the shows and movies. But nothing beats a game, for me at least. Well, that saved a lot of time. These monorails are very handy. They don't go to all the small facilities, but the big main ones. And you know, there's another facility over here that I found, but I have not found an order for that place. Right here. Right over by the Northern Environmental Observatory. Right here. This guy right here. I have no connection yet because I cannot find an order. It's one of the, this is a side facility, I guess you could say, like an optional one, but you have to find an order at either one of the facilities, and I've looked, and I haven't found any at the other places, so it must be a lost order, you know, it's just sitting out in the field somewhere. And once you find it, then you can take it to them, and then that starts orders, and where you can connect them and everything. There's a place there, too. There's one here, there's one over here I noticed, too. Look, I'm pretty good at noticing stuff on the map. I'm just checking when I do that. I'm just checking to see what the. If you ever see it stop like that, that's just when I pull up the thing to show how long the stream's gone. It just temporarily pauses it. It's not my, you know. That's all it is. You know, I like staying at the facilities, but I like the Magellan ship private room. Now I wonder if we'll be able to build private shelters. In the first game, you could build private shelter. If y'all remember, you could build them anywhere along the path. Like if it was a good distance between you and that facility, you could build a private shelter so you could take breaks. You know, your own like little bunker. It's pretty cool. I'm not sure if they'll have that in this game, but I would think they would. The stream's been going for 42 minutes so far. I think I'm going to stop the stream after I've, you know, delivered this. I'm thinking about doing more of these live streams of Death Stranding 2. Instead of just regular videos, I figured why not do a live stream?
Still out working hard after dark, I see. Appreciate the dedication. One moment while I check the orders. You've really outdone yourself with this fine haul. Great work.
Now displaying your current porter grade.
Apologies for making you come visit so late. Be careful out there, okay?
Order completed. Well done.
All right. Let's go to the Magellan. Really don't need to. You know, I can still keep going, but that's where I'm going to end the live streams. Let's go ahead and go there. That will be the end of the stream. Yeah, I'm really glad they added nighttime to this this game. So, really cool. There's the Magellan. It's a really cool ship. I like it.
Hi, Sam.
Well, I think I'm about to turn it off in a second here. Just, you know, another thing I like that they did add this to the first game with the director's cut, where you can test weapons out. I thought that was pretty cool. They even make some obstacle courses that you can run, which is kind of fun, actually. And look, you can come in here in this room in the ship and look at all your weapons and stuff. It's really cool, actually, you know, the way they laid it out. I've heard some people say this game's boring, but I don't know. I don't find it boring. You know, it's just me. To each his own, right? That's, you know, makes the world go around. Not everybody likes the same thing. Now look at the wall. You can tell a lot by the game, too, by what's missing. There's still a lot of space left. Look at there. Still a lot of different grenades to go. Weapons to put on the rack, too. So... Now see, these are your ranks. You know, I got B's in them, so not that high. I'm sure there's a rank. I don't know this, but I'm sure there's a ranking system with other players, actually. These are just NPCs in the game, but I'm sure there is. So. But see, I keep mine offline. my internet's on. I just keep the game itself offline because when I first started this game, there was stuff built by other players all through the map. I mean, generators and bridges. And honestly, I didn't feel a need to build anything because people had already built it. And the roads were being built as I was moving along. And I mean, it's cool to help out. I understand that's part of the game. But I think the world seems more apocalyptic and more like you are the last hope. You know, there's other porters that you run into in the game. I mean, but it still feels, I don't know, it just feels more like the game, the way the game is supposed to be felt. Alone and doing these orders at these long distances by yourself without any help. I like that. I like to build the roads and stuff myself and bridges, all that. But that, you know, that's just me. But I think they really went all out with this game. The engine, the Decima engine that they use for it is excellent. I'd like to see this game engine used on more games than just this, because it is a fine. It is a very fine, very, very fine engine. It truly is. It just works excellent. I haven't really run into any trouble with this game. Knock on, I probably should knock on wood now after saying that, but it's true. I really haven't run into many problems that I can think of. It runs pretty darn good. So you got to get these. Some of them are combat related. I've never done one like this. All the ones I've done have been combat trials. But it's still pretty cool. It's a good way to challenge yourself, you know. I mean, if you have the extra time to do so while playing the game. Well, come on, Sam, what are you doing? I don't know how good the time was, honestly. Yeah, you know, not bad. I think A would be the next one, and then S for the higher ranks. So anyway, that's going to be the end of this stream. And if you like what you see, please subscribe and push that like button. And thank you for joining me. And I hope you all have a good weekend coming up. Bye.